Cool. What's up, guys? This is Jared from Hunter. Colton and I are out in the backyard today, just shooting the Hoyt, getting ready for this mule deer trip we're going to do at the beginning of next month. So just about 2 weeks, we're getting ready to head west here. But before we did, I just wanted to run through my bow setup this year and kind of talk about why I set it up the way that I did. And I was fortunate this year to upgrade to the Hoyt RX5. Some things I want to run over on this bow that I really like about not only what they've done to the bow itself, but to kind of how I've set up some of my accessories on here so that it'll work for me throughout the year. Probably the first of which that Hoyt actually did was they introduced a new stabilizer mount that actually just sits right above the limb pocket here, as opposed to the standard mount that sits right under the handle. And initially I was like not sure what to think about that, but having gone back and forth between these two with this 10-inch stabilizer I have on here, I do notice that when it's on the bottom, it seems to be a lot more stable, or I've got a lower center of gravity. So just preference, I chose to rock with the bottom one here. Something else that I decided to do last year because of this mule deer hunt that we went on is that I wanted to just keep my quiver on the bow. I was kind of just figuring I wasn't going to have time to range the mule deer, take it off like I would in a tree stand typically, and then shoot the animal. So I was like, I've got to just train myself to shoot with this quiver on. And luckily Hoyt makes an awesome quiver that connects right to the riser here. We'll get some shots here and show you how this connects. But it's rock solid, there's no vibration, it sits really close to the bow, which I love. And so now that I've done that, and that's what I did last year, even on the Carbon 30, I had a Hoyt quiver that did something very similar. The one thing that I noticed is because of these arrows and I'm shooting weighted tips, I am leaning to the right, probably more than even I realized until this year. I'm rocking one of these Hoyt SL sidebar mounts for the first time ever. And I always thought these were just for, target archers or cool guys, basically. But I decided to give it a shot this year, and I will say that made a tremendous difference in offsetting the weight against the quiver on the opposite side. And so I would say if I wasn't going to shoot with the quiver, I probably would not worry about the SL sidebar mount. But if you do want to shoot with your quiver on, which I'm going to this entire year, I would definitely recommend offsetting the weight on the opposite side. And all that this really does is, in conjunction with my front stabilizer, when I come to full draw, there's no adjustment needing to happen. It basically is sitting right where it wants to sit. My bubble level is right where it needs to be, and all I need to do is think about aiming and letting that shot come off smooth. So other than that, I mean, a lot of my accessories are pretty standard. I do have an HHA slider pin on this bow. I've got a QAD Ultra Rest drop away rest that Hoyt I think has partnered with QAD to manufacture or sell right with the bow itself. So also representing the Bone Collector crew here on the top, we went with the Bone Collector model, and those guys are friends of ours, so we just wanted to show our support, and the string color and knot color obviously is representative of that as well. So that's kind of the overview on my bow here. I guess some things I should say too, this is an 80-pound bow. I just elected to go with a heavier limb weight just because I can, and I enjoy getting that additional energy out of the arrow, so I can really stack weight at the end of it. And kind of what I was telling Colton earlier is my theory with this is I like to build my bow and my arrows for maximum penetration, and I'm shooting a broadhead that has a maximum cutting diameter. I'm shooting a 2-blade Rage, and a lot of guys will balk at that, as I did at one time, but it's a setup that's worked really well for me for a couple of years, and this bow is certainly going to penetrate along with these arrows anything that I shoot it at. So if I have a durable, big cutting surface broadhead to accompany this, it's a winning scenario for me for whitetail deer and mule deer. Those are the size of animals that I'm hunting. So yeah, that's basically an overview on the bow. I definitely recommend the RX5. I've heard good things about the Ventum as well, which is the aluminum version of their bow they came out with this year. I definitely recommend you check those out. I also definitely recommend you checking out a quiver, offset by a sidebar mount on the opposite side for just versatile hunting options. It works great for mule deer, and frankly, it worked so well for that. I didn't see any reason to take it off for whitetail. So this is the exact same setup you'll see me with in a tree stand come this fall, and certainly looking forward to letting this thing eat.